we are going to shift gears a bit, and we'll shifting gears in style, and we will maintain the same high quality of information available to you. And we will have the fine education folks at the North Carolina Real Estate Commission performing a little NCREC game show for us. Now, I do have to say that they were given, when I reached out to them, I said, y'all are stuck spending so much of your times as the rule enforcers and the rule makers. And I know that you are DREIs, you are experts, you are wonderful speakers and subject matter experts. So the only guidance they were given by me was, I want you to have some fun and take the opportunity to be people. Rather, they are not here necessarily as real estate commission representatives. They are here as highly regarded and qualified and engaged instructors. So thank you all very, very much. So now I'd like to take a moment to introduce some folks that I know you all are familiar with, and that is Mr. Len Elder, Corinne Hamlin, Deb Carpenter. I believe Kizzy Crawford Heath is also joining, and several other folks from the North Carolina Real Estate to bring us the North Carolina Real Estate Commission game show experience. Mr. Len, Corinne, you should be co-hosts now. Is that correct?
Welcome back, my fellow instructors. My name is Len, and I am the Education and Development Officer here at the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. Welcome to the game show experience. I'd like you to meet the contestants. I'm going to give each of them a chance to share with you their title and a little bit about what they do at the commission. And we're going to start off with the master of the manual, Kizzy.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Len. It's such a privilege to be here on your game show this morning. I am the Legal Education Officer for the North Carolina Real Estate Commission, and I am responsible for writing the General Update and the Broker in Charge Update course and facilitating the Update Instructor Seminar.
And I know you all know the CE goddess, Pam. Welcome her to the stage.
Lynn, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me to participate in the game show. Everyone, I am the Continuing Education Officer, AKA the CE Goddess. And what I do is approve continuing education courses and help with the whole instructor approval process as well. Great to be here with you.
Awesome. Welcome, Pam. Next up, we have the captain of our ship, Corinne Hamlin.
Hi, everyone. My name's Corinne Hamlin. So happy to see all of you. Happy to be a contestant on the show. I'm the director of the Education and Licensing Division, which means I get to work with these fine folks every single day. But today they're going down.
And for you pre-licensing instructors, just a reminder, October 1st is nigh. Therefore, it's only appropriate I introduce you to the seamstress of syllabi, Deb.
Hey everyone, so excited to be a contestant because Corinne is wrong. She's going down. We have got this thing ready. I'm in charge of the pre and post syllabi and also that exam that you love so much.
And last but not least, one of our newest additions, the education department, here's Beth.
Good morning, everyone. I am the content education officer and also the newest staff member of the commission. And despite my newness, I will be the winner of the first ever North Carolina Real Estate Commission game show experience. Sorry, y'all.
So with all that, contestants, here are the rules. I'm going to provide to you a series of questions. Unbeknownst to our studio audience, you all have in front of you electronic buzzers. So when you think you have the answer, just push your buzzer. I'll call on you. The questions are of ever increasing value. We're going to start at 100. We'll go up to several hundreds of dollars per question before we're done. And we're not taking away points. for incorrect answers. However, should your answer be so incorrect and off base that it would actually possibly lead to a disciplinary action, you will be given a brown envelope and points will be deducted. One more thing, you can't just make up answers. The answers you provide have to be responses to these commonly asked questions that you have actually heard from education providers and instructors. So with that, let's begin. Here's your first question. What criteria does the commission use to approve an instructor to teach an elective course? Izzy, I see your buzzer.
Aren't they automatically approved because they wrote the course, Lynn?
Kizzy, that's actually a question and not an answer. Deb.
Oh, they have to take the new instructor seminar.
Nice start, Deb. New instructor seminar only for teaching pre, post, and update, not required for electives. Beth.
They have to be good.
Well, we would hope. Pam, I see you've pushed in.
Thank you, Lynn. No, elective instructors don't need approval from the Real Estate Commission. They need approval by the education director based on their experience in the subject matter.
That's awesome. Pam, that is a correct answer, as you indicated, found in Rule 402. We'll give you that 100 points, and Pam is out in the lead early. Give her a round of applause.
Boo. Why am I clapping? Boo.
Here's your second question, Corinne. We'll give you another chance. An education provider wants to offer the same pre-licensing course in 3 formats. They're going to do it in person, synchronous distance, and distance, which is asynchronous. How many course approvals do they need? Kizzy, you were first again.
Why do they need course approval? Aren't they already approved as an education provider, Lynn? I'm confused.
Apparently, you're a little more than confused because that's actually 2 questions rather than an answer. Deb.
Well, it's only one course, and so only one approval is needed.
Yeah, you're not alone in thinking that based on phone calls and questions we received, but that is not correct. Corinne, yes.
They would need 3. They need approval for any delivery type, even if it's the same course title. Our rules actually define 4 different types of courses: in-person, distance, synchronous distance, and blended. And if an EP wants to offer a course in any one of those, it requires a unique application.
Awesome.
Take that, other contestants.
So I need one
Lucky
for
guess.
each format in which I'm offering the course. Is that what you're saying, Corinne?
That's what I'm saying.
Then that's a correct answer, and we'll put you on the board. That puts you out in the lead, by the way, at $200.
Oh, yeah.
Moving to question 3. Whose idea was it that instructors cannot change the content or add their own content to update courses? Corinne.
Miriam.
I don't think Miriam would take responsibility for that as executive director. Beth, I see your buzzer.
It's the 9 commissioners. They're in charge of everything.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. Kizzy.
But why does someone always have to be in charge though, Beth?
Kizzy, we're having a problem here with getting you on the board with answering questions with questions. Deb.
That is dictated by Commission Rule 58H0403. And it's right there for everyone to read if they'll just read it.
So that is correct, Deb. Yes. That will put you out in the lead. So we've got Deb leading at 300, Corinne at 200, Pam at 100, Kizzy and Beth yet to get on the board. Here's your chance. Question 4. What might prevent an education director from properly reporting student rosters to the commission within 7 days? Corinne?
It's because the instructor that taught the course was not approved to instruct that course, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Corinne, let me understand this. You're the education provider. You scheduled a course. You had an instructor teach it who wasn't even approved to teach the course, took a bunch of money from students who completed the entire course, and now you can't report it because the instructor wasn't approved. And that's not only a wrong answer, that's a brown envelope answer. We're going to take some points from you on that one. Beth.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. I don't want a brown envelope.
Izzy, can you
Well,
help
I'll
us?
say something, Beth. Shouldn't reporting the class be the student's responsibility? Shouldn't they just call the commission, Lynn, and report the class that they took?
Answer to a question, Izzy, not a question to a question. Pam, can you help us out here?
Yes, Lynn. There's a couple of reasons. Probably the education provider either didn't get approval from the commission before offering that course, or they never scheduled the course with the commission prior to conducting it.
Awesome. Anything anyone, contestants, want to add to the reporting issue at all?
7
good?
days, 7 days.
Deb says 7 days. Okay, no longer the old rule. Then we'll take some money from Corinne, $400 actually. Corinne,
Hey,
that
that's
actually puts you in the negative due to the brown envelope. And we'll give the money to Pam. Pam, you are back in the lead at $500.
Don't get used to it.
Here's the next question. What's the difference between the education provider's legal name and their advertised name? Kizzy.
Why would it even matter? Could you give me some more explanation as to why there should be a distinction between their legal name and advertised name?
Kizzy, I know this is going to come as a shock and surprise to you, but that's actually what I was trying to figure out.
Oh.
Deb.
Well, Cassie, it's real easy. The advertised name is like the name you use when you're advertising. And then the legal name is like, when you actually need to use your legal name, right?
Yeah, that's helpful, Deb, to someone. I'm just not sure anyone here.
Oh.
Pam, you got an answer here?
I think I do, Lynn. If the education provider is a sole proprietor, then the legal name is the name of the person who is the sole proprietor. If the ed provider is an entity, then the legal name is the name that's registered with the North Carolina Secretary of State's office. The advertised name is the DBA, the doing business as name that the ed provider recorded with the Register of Deeds as the assumed name. And if you look at Rule 58H0202 that's indicated there, it will tell you that if any education provider advertises or operates using a name different from the name under which the EP is certified, then the education director must file an assumed name certificate per General Statute 66-72.4.
Wow, not only long and detailed, but accurate, supported with rule citations. That's a $500 question, Pam. That'll put you way out in the lead into the 4-digit numbers.
You dream about this at night, don't you, Pam?
I do. I love my rule references.
He sleeps with the rule book. Question number 6. What assures that the instructors are covering the prescribed and correct content in pre-licensing and post-licensing courses? Corinne, I saw your buzzer first.
Yeah, obviously that person who handed me the brown envelope assures that.
Actually, Corinne, most things we try and do here are to prevent brown envelopes, not issue them. Deb.
What's a textbook?
Yeah, you and Kizzy must have teamed up. I got both of you asking questions rather than answering them now. And Deb, I'm surprised at that answer. I thought you were instrumental in removing the required textbooks. So
You're
some
welcome.
Kizzy.
What is a syllabus?
Okay, Kizzy, that's correct. I'm going to give you some points for that, Kizzy.
That wasn't my answer, Lynn. That was actually a question. What's a syllabus? Can you give me further clarification on what a syllabus is?
Kizzy, you were so close to getting on the board. I'm going to take the points back. Beth,
I
you
know
got
this
it.
one. I know it. The answer is a syllabus. Deb writes those. All of the new syllabi for pre-licensing and post-licensing are now available in the shared drive for all instructors and ed providers. The rule there is H205, and it requires that instructors teach their courses consistent with the subject matter and the instructional levels provided in those syllabi.
Hey, Beth, I got great news for you. You are on the board.
Woohoo!
So Pam's still out in front with 1,000. That moved Beth, by the way, into second place. I guess Kizzy is technically in fourth, even with 0, because Corinne, you're still in negative territory. Here's your next question. How do I create?
Attack.
I'm sorry, Corinne, what's that?
It's going to be a sneak attack.
A sneak attack, get ready. Here's your opportunity. How do I create an elective course that the commission will approve? Inquiring minds want to know. Corinne. Or I'm sorry, Kizzy.
Well, I didn't get an answer to my last question. What's a syllabus? And let me go on record with saying that I
Oh,
think
you are
that
so on record. Do you not remember this being recorded? You are on record.
But I think the answers that they're given have been vetted, or you have helped them with these answers. And when I ask a question, you don't give me an answer. So I'm confused.
You're a contestant, Kizzy. You're supposed to answer the questions. Deb.
Well, I thought I was required to prepare all the syllabi.
Well, that might be true, but I'm not sure what it has to do with this question.
I guess because he kind of threw me off there. Sorry.
Yeah, she's derailed a few of us here this morning. Corinne, how about you?
Well, actually, it's a rule. There is a rule. It's H402 that contains the requirements for elective course approval. So that rule is pretty specific in what the content needs to be and who can instruct it and who's responsible for it.
Hey, I not only commend you for knowing that, it's a $700 question. You were in the red last time we checked, so I'm happy to tell you, you're at least back in positive territory.
Now we're talking.
Give her a round of applause.
No.
Oh.
Give Kizzy some encouragement. Kizzy, we've got to get you on the board. Here's the next question. How do I know which elective courses are already commission approved? Corinne.
I always know because those are the ones where the instructors are smiling.
Well, I suppose that's true. Beth?
I just keep calling the commission until I get an answer.
Yeah, you and 400 other instructors. Kizzy, I see you've got an answer this time. Let's do it.
Didn't we start this show by saying elective instructors don't need commission approval as an instructor?
Yeah, Kizzy, the instructors of elective courses don't need commission approval, but the course they're teaching does. Pam, you're the CE goddess. Can you help us here?
I can, and Bill, I don't take bribes, but the way that you know which courses are already commission approved is that I have a list that I maintain, and all you have to do is email me, pam@ncrec.gov, and I will share that list with you.
Wow, thanks for that. Not only a way to find it, Pam is willing to share her direct email. I see people are typing in chat. We know that email well already. So Pam at NCREC, I tell you what, Pam, for being willing with this crowd to share your email, knowing what that does, I'm going to give you an additional $200. plus the $800 for the question. And that puts you up to $2,000 with
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Flag on the play. Why does she always get bonus points?
Always get bonus points. It's the first time.
Kizzy, you have to start with at least getting the question correct before we can move to any bonus points. But Pam is out with a commanding lead. Here's your next question. Can you give me a really good elective that has been approved so I can study it and copy how that author put their material together? Kizzy.
If someone else already got it approved, I could just go and watch them teach their class, and then I can teach it.
Yeah, we call that theft. Beth?
Kizzy, have you found a really good elective you can copy?
Oh, wait a minute. Now
I
you guys,
plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
now you guys are asking
Shade.
each other questions. I got to get some help here. Deb.
I actually know this one. No, you can't just go out and copy things. You can't loan out other instructor or authors' intellectual materials. That wouldn't be cool. There are rules, though. We have several in this case. We have rule 0205, 0401, and 0402 that are going to detail all of those course application requirements. And we have this fabulous resource on the Commission's website as well called the Real Estate Education Course Approval Guidelines, where dear Miss Pam has given you literally step by step by step instructions on what to do and when to do it. So go check it out.
That's awesome, Deb. And it's not only correct and it's good information, it's worth $900.
Yes.
If I give you $900, that'll move you back into second place.
So close.
Still waiting for Kizzy to get on the board. I tell you what, here's an easy one. Where do I get the Gen Up and Bic Up course materials? Corinne.
Oh, well, you know, I'm pretty good at creating course materials. I just write my own.
So you're an approved update instructor. And although the commission mandate, Pam's got her mouth covered. That's how bad this is going to be for you, Corinne. You actually disregarded and threw away all of the prescribed materials and decided to just go with your own. Corinne, unfortunately, that's a brown.
Oh, come on, man.
Brown envelope answer. I'm sorry, but it's true.
This game is rigged.
You know, that's what Kizzy's the legends. Kizzy, you've got an answer.
There are course materials for the general update and broker in charge update.
Is that an answer or a question, Kizzy?
I'm asking you a question.
I was so afraid of that. Beth, help me, please.
Yes, Kizzy, there are materials that are created by commission staff, and they are located on the share drive or the share file, which is available to the ed directors and any instructor who has received approval to teach the update courses.
That's awesome, Beth. $1,000 answer, by the way. Give her a round of applause. We're about halfway through our game show, so let's do a scoring check. We still got Pam way out in front at 2,000. Beth is now in second at 1,600. Deb in third at 1,100. Kizzy, somehow magically with no points, you're in fourth because Corinne is still in negative numbers due to brown envelopes. Let's see if we can close this down the stretch. Here is question number 11. What do you mean my learning objectives aren't really learning objectives? Kizzy.
All right, so if I tell you what I'm going to cover in the next 4 hours, isn't that the same thing as having a learning objective? The students are made aware of what I'm going to talk about.
Kizzy, you and I got to switch rules. I got to get you asking questions apparently and me answering them because we've got this backward today. How about Pam? What does this phrase mean, Pam?
Well, it means that we're telling you that your learning objectives aren't really learning objectives.
That's helpful. Corinne, I see your buzzer.
So we have a rule that defines what a learning objective is. A learning objective, it is what a student is going to be able to do at the end of a lesson or a course or a segment. It isn't about what the instructor is going to cover or to teach, but what a student can actually prove at the end of the section. It's H101 subsection 9 that defines a learning objective. That rule, by the way, also says that learning objectives need to be structured in accordance with Bloom's taxonomy. So if you're not familiar with Bloom's, go out and take a look. That gives you some suggestions. I came with an example.
An example? You want to share it? Here.
Absolutely. So here's an example from the new instructor seminar, and the structure of this is in student focused. By the end of today's session, you, the student, will be able to, and here are the 4 objectives, 3 or 4 objectives that we include. The student will be able to describe the basic requirements for instructor approval. You'll be able to differentiate between commission education programs. You'll be able to identify resources available to instructors. And 4, you'll be able to explain how to prepare for delivery of commission courses. So all of these are measurable. At the end of the first day of the new instructor seminar, we ask the students to prove that they can do these things or throughout the day.
Wow. Correct answer with an example. And I would tell you amongst our studio audience, I know our new instructors probably have wrapped their head around this even tighter than those of us that have been at it a while, because as Corinne mentioned, it's an important part of them successfully completing the new instructor seminar. But that's a correct answer, Corinne. $1,100. And you know what? Just like I gave Pam bonus points for her email, I'm going to give you bonus points for bringing along an actual example slide to share. And that puts us here. So Corinne, you're out of the red and you're back to $1,200 and you're in 3rd place.
Of course you would do that. That's called job security for you, of course.
Well, she is the boss. Number 12. Why do I need a performance bond? How do I get a bond? And what form do I use? We call that a compound question. Deb.
Lynn, I think the bonds were eliminated when the educational rules were revised. Pretty sure.
Not exactly.
No.
Kizzy, can you answer this question about bonds?
I missed something. Who's in jail and who needs to get bonded out?
Kind of a bond. Beth.
I think whoever wrote this question should be in jail.
Wait. Corinne, help me, please.
Well, there's a law for that. The requirement for performance bonds are dictated in GS 93A36. Bonds are issued by a variety of insurance companies, all the big players. Most of the insurance companies that we've run into will issue the bonds, and there is a template to use, and it's on the commission's website.
Awesome. That's $1,200. That's going to make a difference. That puts you in the lead, and it goes with the comment in chat earlier that said, come on, Corinne, slay it. So I just want you to know you've got some fans out there. You're in 1st place, followed by Pam.
Now things are in the right order.
In the right order. And
no.
Pam is in 2nd. Beth, then Deb. Kizzy, points are needed.
Don't sleep on me.
Question 13. What information must be included in a policies and procedures disclosure, apparently better known, since we have an acronym for everything, as a PPD? Corinne.
What's a PPD? Is that some new text abbreviation.
No, but I'm going to put you in the category with Kizzy for answering a question with a question. PPD is the acronym for the Policies and Procedures Disclosure. Kizzy, you're up.
All right, so I know the commission has a template, so can I just download the template and send it back to the commission for them to fill in?
You know, I'm not really sure that's the purpose of templates, though I will tell you, apparently some have done so. I actually sent the actual template back without it being filled in. Pam, you look at some of these. You got an answer for us?
Oh, yes, yes, Lynn, I have the answer. So if you look at Rule 58H 0204, which is all about the policies and procedures document, it tells you exactly what is required to be addressed in that document. And we also have a template, as Kizzy referenced, on the commission's website for you to use. And please, 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 I implore of all of you, it will save me gray hair and it will save you gray hair if you just use the template, because if you use the template, you will have everything in there that is required by the rule.
Awesome. I'm going to pause here for just a moment because I know we've got a lot of questions about this. I know we struggle with it on a lot of submissions. Those of you that are contestants, you want to add anything to this? Particularly when it says content is specified in the rule, what we're talking about there?
Well, yeah, there's a list. Basically, what the PPD does is it informs your prospective student of what you as the provider need from them, things that you expect from them. It specifies that you need to tell them what the courses are going to cost them, what the criteria for successful completion happens to be. You have to inform them that you are certified by the Real Estate Commission. And then you need the thing at the end, the certification from the student that they have been informed of all your criteria prior to giving you any money. And that's really important for them to know.
Awesome. And it's a $1,300 question. We're apparently playing for the big money now. And there you are. That puts you back in the lead, Pam, at $3,300.
And all is right with the world.
I'm sorry?
All is right with the world now.
All is right with the world. Funny however, whoever is in the lead.
You only need 325. So if you've been in the business for a while, you could.
So Pam in the lead at 3,300, Corinne at 2,400, then Beth, then Deb. And of course, Kizzy. Kizzy, if it's any consolation or encouragement to you, I've been watching chat. And I want to tell you, there is a whole group of people over there who are not only trying to cheer you on and encourage you, they've actually formed apparently Team Kizzy hashtag and other such things over there as well. So despite the 0 score, Kizzy, we know at least you're loved. Here's the next question. Scariest question of the day. Is there any truth to the rumor that NCREC is going to start auditing classes? Let's see. Kizzy, you buzzed in first.
Who doesn't like auditors? I just love auditors. Don't you, Lynn?
Kizzy, I commend you for not putting it in the form of a question, but now it's just a statement of opinion and not an answer. Yeah. Deb.
I don't quite understand the question. For education providers do not have trust accounts, therefore they don't need to be audited, right?
Not that kind of an auditor, Deb, to try and help you out. Now they think I should give Kizzy points for charisma. Let's just try to get a question right. Let's see, Corinne.
Yes, this rumor is true. We are going to start auditing classes, and an ed director will be notified in advance if one of their EP's courses is going to be audited.
That's correct. Corinne, and it's worth $1,400. So
Awesome.
that escalates you back to the lead at $3,800. Pam in second. Next question. Can an approved instructor teach for multiple education providers? Pam, I saw you buzzed in earlier on this one.
No, they can't. They can only, an approved instructor can only teach or be affiliated with one EP at a time for reporting purposes.
That is the most authoritative, assertive, incorrect answer I have ever heard. I appreciate your confidence, but the answer still has to be right. Bev.
Sorry, Pam, you're wrong on this one. An instructor can be affiliated and teach for multiple education providers. However, the agreement with the ed providers or any contracts that the instructor signs may restrict your ability to teach for the ed providers' competitors or other ed providers.
So what I hear you saying, Beth, is the commission doesn't care, but your ed provider may care, and it depends on the terms and conditions of your employment or hire by them. So it's a $1,500 question, Beth. Big money makes big differences. That will get you up to $3,100, still in third place. Next question. The instructor I want to use as an education director isn't in my drop-down menu. Why not? Corinne.
Well, this does happen sometime. That instructor told us privately that they just don't like you.
No, I mean, we do get those calls, but we don't affect your dashboard based on that. Beth.
Maybe your computer needs updated.
Yeah, well, that may be true, but it really doesn't affect the online dashboard system. We're talking about drop-down menus. Kizzy.
Lynn, I need a little bit more information before I attempt to answer this question. So what's a drop-down menu?
Drop-down menu is the way we get to your score in this game, Kizzy. So far. Deb, can you help us with the dashboard?
I think so. There are actually multiple reasons that instructor you're looking for might not be in your drop-down menu. It could be that instructor did not renew their approval in a timely manner. And it could be that if it's a Gen Up or a Bic Up course, they may not have gone to active status because they didn't take the update instructor seminar yet. It is also possible that the education director did not affiliate that instructor with that EP. So if you've got any of these kind of questions, you can contact Andrew at ncrec.gov.
Wow. Another email from the commission that you will find helpful.
Bonus points.
No, Deb.
Pam got them for an email.
Yeah, Pam got bonus points because she gave out her own email. When you give out other people's email for folks to contact, I have trouble rewarding that.
Points for throwing Andrew under the bus.
Yeah, poor Andrew.
He'll talk to me later, I'm sure.
I'm sure he will, wanting to know how he made it into the conference and what happened to his email account. I will give you the $1,600, Deb.
I'll take it.
And that'll get your score up, but you're still in fourth place. Here is question number 17. Name an event or a course that satisfies the annual requirement for instructor development program of 6 hours. Deb.
Taking that update instructor seminar with Kizzy all day, that's at least 6 hours. So that counts as our instructor development credit.
No.
What are you shaking your head for, Pam?
Pam's shaking her head because she feels my pain. I worked through instructor renewals with these folks last spring. I'm going to tell you that the most common thing that got in the way of people renewing were brand new instructors who said, well, I have 6 hours because I took the new instructor seminar. You took that before you were approved. It doesn't count for your 6 hours for renewal, which has to happen between the time you're approved and June 30th when you renewal. The other second most common mistake was people putting in, yeah, I attended the update instructor seminar with Kizzy. That also doesn't count. So that's not a correct answer. Kizzy, I see your buzzer.
Doesn't being here count, Lynn? All day.
Kizzy, that's actually a correct answer. I'm going to start grading you the way someone in chat suggested. I think you're confused on game shows and you're playing Jeopardy and answering questions with questions. But Kizzy, I'm going to give you $1,700 because being here does count. In fact, there's a lot of things that count. So any of the contestants want to add in or build on this? Kizzy, you got a cheering section going in chat now. Anybody want to add to this?
Well, our conference works. The Spring Educators Conference works.
Yeah, contrary to popular opinion, we actually count lots of things. Both the NCREA Fall Conference, the NCREC Spring Conference. We'll count REA if you went there. We count online IDW courses. Many of you did that during the year last year. Instructor designation courses. So if you attended one of REA's GSI sessions or went through the DRI mentoring program, that all counts. Anything that we can categorize under instructor development work. But the great news of the morning is Kizzy is now on the board. You're still in 5th place, Kizzy, but it's not a shutout. You have $1,700.
The shade, really, the shade.
Here's one for you, Kizzy. Why can't I just lecture to the students? What else do you want me to do? Corinne?
I think it depends on how great a lecturer you are, right?
Well, everyone from their own personal standpoint rates it fairly high. Deb?
You can't just lecture because we all know the students don't listen anyway. There's got to be more.
This sounds to me like you're throwing the students under the bus, though we know what you said is true, but I'm looking for the basis of this. Kizzy?
So doesn't Rule 58H 0304 require instructors to use a variety of instructional techniques?
Kizzy, that's the right answer for $1,800. By the way, do you remember the earlier, this is for our studio audience, remember the earlier rule when we were talking about auditing coming up? In the email notifications and stuff, we're not, feel free to speak to this. It referenced Rule 304. If you want to know what the commission's looking at, we're essentially looking at some other rules as well, but y'all need to spend some time on 304. You have anything you want to add to that, Corinne?
No. That's exactly right. At least for any course that's being taught by, a live person, 304 counts: in person, synchronous distance. And Kim Stotesbury has her hand up. I think that means that there is a question.
There is a question in chat. Thank you so much, Corinne. This is Kim, and it's coming from Jim Rule back in the chat, so I'm not sure whose question it was. One is, what courses are you guys going to be auditing? And the other question is, explain a little bit about the online IDW courses. And I'm guessing I missed that several minutes ago. I regret that, but thank you, Jim Rule.
I'll jump in on the auditing question. We're going to be auditing a variety of classes. I saw in one part of the chat that someone says, is every class going to be audited? Well, we're going to get to as many classes as we can, but we will be hitting a variety of courses, update, CE, pre, post, all of those we're going to try and hit. And just depends on the schedule as to whether or not you are contacted and when.
And so far as the online IDW, if it had to do with instructor development and instructor skills, we're going to count it. If you have to give us an outline, what did it cover? But if it's stuff that looks like instructional skills, we're going to count it. There are some specific instructor development courses out there online. Many of you took Deb Long's instructor development course. Carmel Streeter, who many of you know from RIA, has some online courses up. But it doesn't even have to technically be titled instructor development course. If it was 6 hours and you can show us that the content that was covered helped build instructor skills, submit it. I'm going to suggest that you submit it before you get to
Great.
June 30th, like right after you've taken the course. That way you give us a chance to take a look at it and you don't get stuck at the end trying to figure out, does it or doesn't it? Well,
And
we're down.
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Lynn, excuse me. I would suggest if you have a detailed content outline in advance of the course, go ahead and send it before you take it. And that way we can let you know. So if you have a detailed content outline, send it as soon as you have it so that we can take a look.
So we got only 2 questions remaining to determine a winner here. Let's get a good handle on where we're at. Corinne is back out front with 3,800.
Oh, yeah.
Kizzy has remarkably closed the gap. She's now in 2nd place, 3,500. Pam's at 33. Beth's at 31. And Deb, you're at 2,700.
Yeah.
So here's a question. So long as I'm covering all the material, can't I just let the students out early? What do you think? Beth, I see your buzzer.
Well, it depends on how much homework you give them.
No, it doesn't, Beth. I don't think you can assign homework to make up for class time. Corinne.
Yeah, as long as your students pledge not to report you to the commission.
I'm sure that's been tried. It's not their students that will turn them in, though, in my experience. It's the friends that they go and tell that had to sit through the full class that will turn that instructor in. Kizzy.
Isn't that prohibited under 58H 0304, Lynn?
Kizzy, that is correct for $1,900. And no, Colin, you can't just make them stay and you leave. That doesn't work either over in chat. But that's $1,900, Kizzy. And that now puts you in the lead. Kizzy leading the game at 5,400. Corinne's in 2nd. Pam in 3rd. I guess it all comes down to this. Why did Kizzy ask so many questions during this game?
Ooh,
Deb?
ooh.
Yeah, Deb.
Because she wants to be a better instructor.
Oh.
Probably. Pam.
Who says I was a bad instructor, though?
Everyone can be better, dear.
Kizzy, that's another question, by the way. Pam.
My answer is because this is the commission and you can ask us anything.
Yeah, despite our fun, it is what we do, isn't it? Corinne, you got something
Because it's
to add?
always better, I do. It's always better to ask than to proceed if you're uncertain.
All right, I agree with that. Beth, you want to chime in?
Well, because the only truly bad question is the one you didn't ask.
Kizzy.
It's strategy, so I could win the game.
I see. Wow.
Course. Sneaky.
I don't know how our audience members feel. If I sort through that last round of answers, I think they might all be correct. And that makes my job as a host determining a winner among the contestants from the commission a bit difficult. I think that instead of determine a winner out of this, I think that this morning, the winners are the EPs and instructors who attended this session, because what you just sat through were a bunch of the most common questions we get. So hopefully somewhere along the morning, you got something out of that you didn't know when we started. And that's the Commission Game Show. So back to the studio to Jim Fletmeyer.
Great job, everybody. Len, great job coming from behind. Kizzy, I was rooting for you. So we do have a couple of questions. We have about 2 minutes to answer questions. So I will say this as a reminder, please, if you did not get your question answered, there will be members of the commission in our afternoon Q&A session. Please jot them down and bring them for there. And also, as a reminder, if you have a question, first raise a question for the speakers or participants, not just a snarky question or comment. Please raise your virtual hand and private message Q&A Kim and let her know that you have a question. So Kim, we have a question. We have time for just a few quick questions if you have them.
You're
I
muted.
do, and Sarah Lawing had a question. Sarah, do you want to unmute and ask, or will it be faster if I just say the questions? How about if I just say them? I think we'll get more in. One question is, what's going to be the result of the audits? And that's from Malia. So
I'll
do you
jump
want
in and answer. Yeah, I'll jump in and answer that question. I didn't want to interrupt you, Kim. But we're going to be performing audits throughout the year, at least this year, and depending on what the commission decides, maybe in coming years as well. And at the end of the year, we'll be putting together a report for the commission. So in terms of the big question, what will happen and how will the information be used, that will be at the discretion of the commission at the end of the year. But in the short term, after each audit, then the ed director and the instructor will be provided a pretty comprehensive review and our comments and any suggestions or needed improvements. So we'll be giving feedback within a month of the audit. It will be relatively quick.
Thank you, Corinne. The next one's really quick. Is the commission going to offer IDW? And is it going to be on because it's not on the website anymore? That question's from Sarah.
Right. Thanks for that question. We haven't had a new IDW in several years, but that is on our project list this year to create some new IDW segments. So, unless things change dramatically, that is the plan, to have a few new IDW segments available. Lots of ways to get that instructor development credit, though, between the different conferences and Deb Long's classes. But it is our plan to have something new this year.
Thank you guys so very much. And it is time for our next break.